Hi guys, it's your girl Lola loves you, and I miss my honey bunnies. The other day I was in the shower, and I was just, if you're a true Whitney Houston fan, you always think of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas for Whitney Houston. How her time was her time, but you wonder how her time could have been better here on Earth. And I just was wondering, like, why did she stay so long with Bobby Brown? And it just made me kind of look into their marriage a little stronger. And I didn't realize, y'all, when Whitney Houston got married, she was 29 years old and Bobby Brown was 23. Bobby Brown was kind of rather young. A lot of men are not mature enough in their 20s for marriage. Especially this day and age, no. But back then, it still was a no because Bobby Brown was immature, wealthy celebrity, So I don't think he was ready to settle down. I think, and I think both at the end of the day, and I look through their marriage, the ups and downs and things like that. I think both of these individuals were in love with being in love. I think Whitney Houston was just in love with being with a man and having a baby, and people stand out her business. And I think she thought her life was going to be fairy tales. And Bobby Brown, I think he was just in love that the fact that he could get Whitney Houston, he could get the number one, pop princess in the world. And I think that he was in love with that fact that he could get her. I don't think he was ever in love with Whitney Houston. I think he was in love with the fact that he could be with Whitney Houston. And I think Whitney Houston never really loved Bobby Brown in a way that a wife loved their husband, and vice versa. I don't believe he loved her in a way that a husband could love their wife. I believe Whitney Houston loved Bobby Brown codependency upon her. And I think their love was for each other was the fact of infatuation, and I think they were, drug was their love too. Addiction played a lot in their relationship. And two broken people together, nobody's balancing anyone off. That's dangerous. And I started, just kept looking into their relationship, and I said, I believe Whitney Houston, in my opinion, stayed in relationships so long because she wanted to prove, and even she said it in the Oprah interview, that she was trying to prove America wrong. She was trying to prove everybody wrong. And I believe, had she didn't, make that her agenda, that she would have left Bobby Brown long ago. And she, they had broken up a lot through their marriage, and I believe that she would have left him and stayed, gone from him, had she did not try to prove everybody wrong. I believe they had some type of bond. In my opinion, it was a drug bond. I believe if you take the drugs, alcohol, and the sex away from their relationship, they didn't have anything in common. They really probably wouldn't even like each other, And then in their relationship, when one of them got sober, the other one was still, an addict. And when the next one got sober, the other one was back an addict. So it's just they were not balanced for each other. Maybe Whitney should have done like Janet Jackson did, and called it quits once Bobby Brown threw a tantrum that they wasn't exclusive. So, I think about that. It just makes me angry and upset. Like, Whitney Houston wasted her whole time on someone that really was not for her. And it's just sad, And I always think about Whitney Houston every day. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I think any Whitney Houston fan think about her every day. You can't help to. And you just like, I don't know. You just wonder, like, why did she make the decision she made? And it's just like so sad. But, to each his own. I don't know. What y'all think? Leave in the comments what y'all think. I just think that she was just codependent upon Bobby Brown. I believe drugs numbed her from making the right decisions, in my opinion. Yes, that's what I think. I think drugs numbed her from making the right decision. And I also think once Christina came in the picture, a lot of people, we have a lot of relatives and people that we know will use the baby as an excuse to say, oh, well, she needs her father. And I believe she did that. And I think she really wanted this to have this perfect ideal family, thinking everything was going to be peaches and cream, and it just wasn't. In my opinion, you can say what you want to say. I believe Whitney Houston would have done 100% better with Robin, in my opinion. Not to bring Robin into this, and not to say Whitney Houston was gay and stuff like that, but honestly, I will always say Whitney Houston did so much better with Robin. And even if she wasn't with Robin, I don't see Whitney with a man, in my opinion, because she always was lacking some self-esteem, especially when it came to men. She never stood on her two grounds and had that sass I can't say as the average woman, but yeah, the average woman, know their place and, in a relationship, and they're not going to let a man walk over them. An average woman with, high self-esteem, with great self-esteem. So I can't speak for everybody, but I just don't, that mechanism with her men didn't never play well with me. But I just, just looking through their marriage, I really just don't see, I just see two people just excited about being, together, but not excited about each other in a sober manner, And I don't know, y'all just think about things like this. I mean, I know y'all think about this, like why Whitney Houston stayed. Any Whitney Houston fan would want to know, why did she stay so long? And, what was she thinking? And poor thing was in pain. And a lot of, some people, I've been like that in friendships back in the day. When I didn't feel the greatest about myself, I held on to people that I had no business to hold on to. With friendships, even with guys that I was talking to, because I didn't think high of myself. But once I got that confidence and knew my self-worth, oh baby, I don't need you, goodbye. I'm gonna do better. I make my own self happy. So I'm gonna be all right with you or without you. So I think that played another factor in her life, having low self-esteem, in my opinion. Just not being, able to stand on your own 2 feet without someone next to you or by you or, beside you or whatever. So I think that's why she stayed. I think, like I said, I think that's why she stayed. Leave in the comments why you think she stayed so long with Bobby Brown. In my opinion, I think that's why she stayed with him. Because of low self-esteem, being in love with the idea of being in love, and just trying to prove people wrong. So Whitney Houston was hard-headed at times. We love you, Whitney. Whitney, I just miss you so much. Just thinking about you. You don't understand how you touch my life so much. And I love you. All of us love you. All of the honey bunnies love you, honey. We miss you so much. And I just think about her and just think about, like, I think that's what anybody that Whitney Houston touched. We think about, like, how could her life been so much better on earth? But it's a 1,000,000% better now. Now she with Jesus.